decided to teach posting. So we're in chapter 11, and we are going to do some posting. Okay? Now, I mentioned, so in here I've got an accounts receivable account. There it is, accounts receivable. Accounts receivable. This is the grand total of what everybody owes me. This is the grand total of my customers, right? So in here then is the individualized amounts that my customers owe me. So grand total here, that's what I put on my worksheet. Mini totals, totals of what everybody owes me in here. Accounts receivable is called a controlling account. All right, the controlling account, accounts receivable. There's a controlling account called accounts payable. We call them motherships. Motherships, controlling accounts. Your book calls them controlling accounts. I think my definition's way cooler. But again, whoever wrote this book did not contact me for my opinion. Baby aliens, they're our customers or our vendors. Okay, so, again, I'm sorry, I sound like such a dog. We're going to start posting. Will you please join me on page 306 in your book, 306 in your book, and then in your workbook,
253.
Thank you, 253, and we're back to kind of a flip-flop game, yeah. Okay? So we're going to start just posting some things out of the accounts payable ledger. And again, the way they do it's not my favorite, but it's okay. We'll be able to hang on. So let's take a look at 306. I'll beam us up. All right, posting. We're going to start posting these, let's see, we're in a purchases journal. So these are our vendors. We're going to post these into then our accounts payable ledger. And in your book, it's just another sheet of paper that we're posting to. But posting, again, transferring information from one spot, otherwise known as journal, to the ledger. We're doing this to bring accounts up to date, okay? Because looking at all these journals, I can't say, how much cash do I have right now? How much do I owe Regal Design? How much do I owe everybody? This is why we post. So remember, we journalize all those transactions, and it used to be nice back in the day. We had one journal, and we knew exactly what we were doing. Now we've got 5 journals. Sometimes it throws us a little bit over the edge. Honestly, in the end, it does save us money. Not money. Well, it saves us time, which saves us money, because we don't have to write out every account that's affected, every transaction, because of our handy-dandy special columns in these journals. All right? So, again, the way they do it to me is wonky, but we're going to do it anyway. Page 306, work together, I'm reading. You should join me. Partial purchase, I can't even speak. Purchases, cash payments, and general journals for graphic ink are given in your working papers. Also are accounts payable ledger accounts for selected accounts and a blank form for a schedule of accounts payable. we'll do that here in a minute. Your fabulous instructor will guide you through the following examples. Number 1, start a new page for an accounts payable ledger account for Regal Design. The account number is 240, and the balance on October 1st of the current year is $877. So we're going to scroll down and go to the next page, and we're opening an account. Do you remember back in the day when we opened an account? Here's what we did. So it's giving us, so we must have a new vendor, or at least we're practicing opening accounts like we have a new vendor. So find this blank form, if you will. Write Regal Designs on the line and vendor number 240. This ledger is made for accounts payable because it says vendor. Okay? So this is a subsidiary ledger. It's a accounts payable ledger. So we've assigned vendor number 240 to Regal Designs. Whoa, back in the day, 240 was a liability. Yes, this is a liability also. Our numbering in our chart of accounts has added a number. So assets now are in the thousands, where liabilities are 2,000s. Okay? It also tells you to bring forward this balance. So perhaps we filled up the last page for this vendor. These forms are also different. Look, I don't have a debit or credit balance column. I just have credit balance. Whoa, wait, that's weird. Well, in an accounts payable ledger, the only balance is going to be a credit balance because I owe him money. Rarely, never, can't imagine when a vendor would owe me money, right? Unless I paid them too much money and they owed me a refund, and that would be weird. So we only have a credit balance here. So if you're posting in here and you go, whoa, it's a debit balance, something's screwy, right? Do I feel like I'm at like a funeral home or something? My music's playing?
I think it's up there.
Is it up here?
I thought it was Mrs. Hagen's song.
Oh. Yeah, that's it.
I think it was Mrs. Hagen's song.
You like it? Is it cool?
Let
It's kind of soothing.
Let it soothe us. Do you like
Let's
that?
just soothe through this. All right, so
Probably listening to the
we're opening this account. We're writing balance, and I'm putting a check mark here because I didn't post this from anywhere. It's just the balance that was there. All right, so again, reading the directions, number 2. Post, favorite word in the whole wide world. Post the accounts payable credit entry on line 7 of the purchases journal to the accounts payable account for Regal Design. So back up I go. So I'm just posting this one little line. Okay, Regal Designs, I'm posting that. Now look, what am I posting? Am I posting a debit? Am I posting a credit? This is dumb, I don't know. It's going in the credit because I'm going in my accounts payable ledger. And it says accounts payable credit. So I'm going to take this amount of $1403.20 and I'm going to post it on the 19th, because it was the 19th up there. Posting this from P10, Purchases Journal, page 10. Remember, second step in posting is, where'd you get this information? Okay. Third step, it's a credit of $1403.20. Fourth step in posting, new balance. Well, here I'm sitting with a credit balance of $877. I have a credit entry of $1403.20. They're the same. I'm going to add them. If they were different, I would subtract them. But this should make sense. I'm in the purchases journal. I'm buying something from them. The balance that I owe them then is going up. I increase a liability with a credit, like I always have. So right this very minute, I owe Regal Designs $2280.20. Okay? Fifth and final step in posting, I take the vendor number of 240 back to my purchases journal. Right there. And what I'm doing is saying, just in case you're wondering, I posted this amount to account number 240. So if something is screwed up, that's kind of our paper trail, our cover our butt thing. All right? We're all about covering our butt in accounting. All about covering our butt. All right? That was easy. Instruction 3. Post the accounts payable debit entry on line 15 of the cash payments journal to the accounts payable account for electrographic supply. So, again, this is not how I would teach posting. However, it's what they're doing. I would just post everything at once, but it's making us do this first. So electrographic supply on the 20th. Again, accounts payable debit. So I'm looking at and finding the name of that ledger, and that's where I'm headed. So I have a debit of $776 from the cash payments journal to go into electrographic. So let's find it. Again, flip-flopping around. So I'm posting on the 20th, cash payments journal, page 15, a debit of $776. Oh, convenient, that's what I owed them. So I had a credit balance of $776. I have a debit entry of $776. I owe them nothing right now. Okay? So a straight pencil line is what you do there. I'm not really closing the account, but what I'm saying is, okay, I no longer owe you anything. Should make sense. Cash payments journal. I'm paying them, so I don't owe them any money anymore. Last step in posting the 230. Back to the post-ref column. Okay? Yes, we skip supplies. It's their way. All right? Next, reading directions. On the 4th, post the credit entry on line 5 of the general journal to the accounts payable account for electrographic supply. Post the debit entry on line 6 of the general journal to the accounts payable account for arts and things. So now we're going down to the general journal, and we're going to post the 2 things that we need to post for accounts payable, okay? So when we wrote in the general journal and we did the slash thing, that was to remind ourselves, I got to post to this account called accounts payable. I've got to post to this account called electrographic supply. If you didn't put your line there, I would never take points off, but I might put it in there for you to remind you. Because if you don't, sometimes you tend to not post to both places, and we need to do that. Right now, we're only posting this part. So electrographic supply, I see I have a credit of $25.44 on the 26th. So let's go find electrographic supply again. On the 26th, from G11. So now I've got all kinds of different things. I have a credit of $25.44, and that's my new balance. So I just charged some stuff from them again. Okay? So in accounts payable, that's what I'm doing. I'm buying junk, I'm paying it off. I'm buying junk, I'm paying it off. All right? So again, 4 steps in posting. Date, where did I get this info? Credit or debit entry, credit or debit balance. In this case, it's always going to be credit, whether it's 0 or what. Account number 230 is posted on this side of our little slash in the post-ref column. Because I have not posted yet to accounts payable, I'm only posting right this minute to electrographics supply. All right. Lastly then, arts and things. See, I have a debit balance, or I'm sorry, a debit entry of $125. So on the 28th, from G11, I'm debiting $125. And I'm subtracting that from what I owe. I must have returned some things. So I used to owe them $873. Must have returned $125 worth. Now I only owe $748. Subtracted those because credit balance, debit entry. Okay? And again, it should sort of make sense. when I'm in that account or the general journal and I'm returning things, I should owe less. Again, last step in posting. Oops. 210 goes right there. So those are the things I posted so far. All right, feverishly copying in the other numbers makes 0 sense for you right now. Lastly, number 5 on Work Together says to prepare a schedule of accounts payable for Graphics Inc. on October 31st of the current year for these selected accounts. Account payable balance in the general ledger is $65.58.20. Save your work for Work Together later. So here's what we do then. After we're done posting, we're pretending we're done posting everything. We prepare what's called a schedule of accounts payable. A schedule of accounts payable is another fairly formal statement. What it is it's saying, here are the companies I still owe money to. This is how much. Let me add them up for you. All right? So, since it's a regular statement like we've done, who, what, when hasn't changed. We are Graphics Inc., so we're writing who on the line. What are we making? We're making what's called a schedule of accounts payable. Okay? Schedule of accounts payable. And again, what I'm doing is listing all the accounts I owe money to, and I'm adding it up. The date is not 4-month ended because this is a statement that is saying, as of today, October 31st, here are the accounts that I owe money to. Tomorrow it could change. And it changed all month long. So on today, October 31st, and I get these balances from my accounts payable ledger. And if it were a little more real, I would go to my accounts payable ledger and I would write down all the accounts of people I owe money to. Okay? So I'm writing down arts and things. I'm not writing down accounts and saying 0 because I could do that all day, right? Let's admit we do enough repetitive, stupid stuff in accounting, so let's not write down accounts that we don't owe money to. So if it has a 0 balance, we don't write it down. So I have 4 accounts. I write those here, what I owe, and I add them up. So jot that down. Trying to make it bigger. Didn't work. When I add them up, I write total accounts payable. I don't write totals, I write total accounts payable. So this total, which is representing all the baby aliens, where do you think I can double check that number? Where would that number be again? It is what it is, right? Should this not be the same as the mothership? Because I told you I am going to only, in my worksheet, write down one total. So in my general ledger, in the account called accounts payable, this better be my balance, right? That's why I post anything I post into a baby alien account. I also post in accounts payable. So at the end, they better equal. That's my check. That's why in your book, it says the total, or the accounts payable balance in the general ledger, is $65,5820. That's not a coincidence, folks. Okay? That's what it's got to be. And if they're not the same, something's wrong in Denmark and we've got to fix it. 9 chances out of 10, I'd go back to the accounts or the general journal and make sure you posted both of them. Right? So, my account called accounts payable has to be the same as my schedule of accounts payable. Because again, when I do a worksheet, I'm just writing accounts payable, that amount. But boy, it better equal all of the baby alien accounts that I have in my subsidiary ledger. All right? So these are all the people I owe money to. That is super, super fun. Would you agree? Yeah, you only posted 4 things. That wasn't. I think you see the writing on the wall, however. Please, on your own, purple, 306, will you, so you're jumping to the next 2 pages and doing this craziness. 5 instructions, you got to post 4 things and do a schedule, just like we just did. Want to reassure that that's in there. All right, so take a moment. We'll check that here in a few.